All right, hello again. Just finished the workout, 75 dumbbell hang squat cleans. Doesn't that sound delicious? But a lot of people have asked, so I'm going to oblige. The next several stories, I'm going to give you an in-depth tour about our garage gym. So if you are interested, hey, turn up the volume and I'll narrate right through it, show you everything. And if not, just skip on by. So to give a little bit of perspective, we live on a cul-de-sac. And we have a 2-car garage here, and this did not exist when we built our house, but we added this on purely for the CrossFit gym. I wasn't doing CrossFit prior to this, and my dad's a builder, so I sketched it on a napkin and I said this would be my dream gym, and he built it. So give you some basics. Obviously, folded flag on that wall. That was actually Margie's idea, and it's dual purpose. You will see that this is thin pieces of wood, and they serve, that is 10 feet there, and then these stars are 9 feet. So when we do wall balls, the women height is 9 feet, the men's is 10, so that avoids beating up the drywall, and that's our target for wall balls. The ceiling is a 15-foot ceiling, which is the standard for rope climbs. And I'll tell you about that device in a sec. So that is a device that's built into the truss system. A friend of mine, Mark, he had a few of these built for his home, and he gave this to me. So I had the Amish construction guys build it into the trusses, and it has eye bolts for the rings, and in the center is the rope. And when I touch that eye bolt, that is exactly 15 feet from the floor. And I just keep it hooked up over there. I'll just kind of walk you around, starting over here. We have a little alcove over here, so for all the stash. That's our dog and 2 cats that we both put down over the last couple of years. My son-in-law created that as a gift for me. We got a whiteboard, all the PRs that probably won't come off the board anymore because they've been there for so long, but that's where everything is done. Got a couple of boxes here. Of course, my trusty ruck. I had 2 of the wood boxes, but I sold one because I was having an issue with jumping on boxes. So I got a soft-sided box over here from Fringe Sport, changed everything, able to jump again. And then Margie has a smaller box from Fringe, soft-sided as well. Got a couple tripods. Moving along here, we have a plethora of sand. So train with sand, right? So on the bottom is a Rogue feed sack. It's 100 pounds. And then these are all GoRuck sandbags, very good for just about anything. 80 pounds, 60 pounds, 40 pounds. On the bottom over there is the 150-pound Strongman sandbag by Rogue. Right above it is an 8 or 75-pound, you can go up to 100, I believe, is a Tombstone sandbag from Rogue. And then a GoRuck D-ball, which is 100 pounds. Great for like ground the shoulders, carries, things like that. And of course, I just finished the dumbbell squat cleans. So this is just a piece of plywood that we lacquered over, put the star on there. All of these are horse stall mats, and the dimensions of the room were on purpose. These horse stall mats come in 4 feet by 6 feet. So if you figure 4 feet times 5 of them is 20 feet, and they're 6 feet wide or long. So the garage is 12 feet across. So horse stall mats fit perfectly in here. So we went down about 9 of them, and then in place of the one, we put this lifting platform. So that's the logic behind this. You can drop anything on this, indestructible. Very humid today, so very slick today. Moving on, we have the ab mat, whatever you want to call it. Bunch of variety of dumbbells, picking up at garage sales over the years. You may remember Walmart had a special, I think it was Cyber Monday, for these really cheap dumbbells. So I have a 90, an 80, and I think an 85, or do I have 100? It might be 100 on there. Then moving on to here, so there's this welder, he's also a school teacher, and I showed him a picture years ago, a decade ago, of a Rogue bumper plate rack that would be on casters, and he built this for me. So this holds all of our bumpers. You'll see these colored bumpers quite a bit, and they're all unique. They're all from the CrossFit Games. So at the CrossFit Games, once they use bumpers at the games, they sell all of them. And I have volunteered several times. So you can see right here, Reebok was a sponsor, 2019. I think that was the first time I volunteered. Noble, 2022. The blue one's down there, I'm not sure. Then I have a pair of yellow 35s here too. So those are all the colors that come. I could have got 10s, but they're just black. So I got plenty of 10s here. My bumpers are all, except for those, they are all Fringe Sport. Fringe Sport puts rebar inside of the molded rubber here, so these collars don't ever come loose, and they're warranted. So you can even drop 10-pound bumper plates from overhead and they won't start to waffle like a lot do. Of course, we started out with a Schwinn Airdyne. Of course, we have the Rogue Echo bike, been there for years. It's a workhorse. These two windows were repurposed. They were the room over the garage, and then we brought them down here. This composite material that's along the whole outside is very intentional. You'll see it as a kind of a windowsill too. It's basically indestructible. So we wanted to have a smooth surface right here. So when we do things like handstand push-ups, wall balls, we wouldn't have a ledge there like a lot of garages do. And it's really good too when you drop barbells and say something rolls against it, it's indestructible. It's a composite. So over here, this is the Rogue P4 pull-up bar. You can hang this from the ceiling or you can go on the wall. So basically I stood here, I'm 6'3", and I wanted to just have to jump up a little bit to get to it. So I want to say it's like 8 feet 3 inches or something off the wall or off the ceiling, off the floor. So that's where I do my pull-ups. Margie does hers on the fold-back rig. But I use this one. Of course, we got a linchpin banner, 3 wall balls. We got 14 for her, 20 for me, and occasionally break out the 30-pound trusty old rower. Now, that same welder who made me the bumper rack also made me a set of these red mobile squat racks. So on days where we're gonna squat, she will use this and I can pick these things up and just carry them anywhere in the room and use them. So that's the purpose of those. This whole contraption is called a fold-back rig. They come in 2 different sizes. The sizes are dictated by the length of this arm right here. So if I were to pop out the pins that are back there, the pins down here, and I took off the pull-up bar right here, these pieces pivot to the wall. So you can park a car in here or create more space. Pretty rare we do that, but sometimes we need more space depending on what the workout is. So that is called the Rogue fold-back rig, but usually it stays right where it is. Got, of course, all your collars, some belts and chains, and the rope that's stored right there. A couple ab mats, of course, lots of red, white, and blue in this room. And when we do things like ring dips or ring rows, we just hang these straight from here. Makes it super convenient, and store them up here. Then we use that paracord to hold the rings out of place there. So I don't do ring muscle ups, but if we ever do ring dips or different things, I can release those and put them right here in the middle of the room. Margie has the closet for her shoes. These are all mine. Lots of Rogue ballistic trainers, or not Rogue, GoRuck. And then I think she has 1 pair of Olympic lifters back there, but that's it. A couple PVC pipes for warming up all the time and skill work. This is called the Rogue Matador. This hooks right onto the upright. I use this quite a bit for dips. These are a 20 and a 30-pound slam ball. Basically, you go overhead, slam it to the ground. Those are great. Like if you don't have a lot of time, get a lot of work in real quick. Those are awesome. We have 4 cones, so anytime we might be doing, say, 10-meter shuttles or something short and we want to mark the space and we don't have to worry about looking at chalk on the ground or it might be wet, we have some cones. Back here is for landmine twists. So this device here, you can stack some bumper plates. This goes into it, then you put the barbell here and you can do landmine twists. So that's a really cool device. Many Father's Days ago, they got me a Cerakote bar. So I actually have 2 male bars here by Rogue, and then that's a 35-pound Bella bar for her. Moving on, of course, we got a Rogue bench, been here since the beginning. The second of Concept 2 machines in the room is a Ski Erg. Use that more in the wintertime for warming up. That gets probably the least amount of use of anything in here. When I was on recruiting duty, I finished in 2018, so you'll see August 4th of 13 to August 4th of 2018. My going away gift, basically after 5 years of recruiting, was this flag. And it's all a local artisan. It's all burnt in to the wood and painted. It's awesome. Right above that, linchpin banner. And of course, I already showed you the Fringeport soft-sided box. This is one of the best speakers ever. It's a Bose Flex, awesome bass, awesome sound, but not too loud for the neighbors. Works on Bluetooth, love it. Now, I want to show you this. This is one of the best things I ever did. So if you go up here, here's the garage. You know, typically a garage door would come across right here, right? Well, I'm 6'3" and putting a barbell overhead when this door is up, not gonna happen. So this is called a high lift kit. So it goes high up and then comes over. What this allows us is to have maximum space. So when the garage door is up, like today, it's 70 degrees out here. And this allows us to open the garage door, have it open, and then still have maximal space in here. It looks like someone's walking the dog out there, so. And I want to show you this. Here, come on. This is our space heater that my dad helped me install. So in the wintertime, kind of takes the edge off. We ran a 220 line, actually piggybacked on our electric vehicle, and we switched between the two. So this pushes some heat into the space nicely. So that's definitely a welcome addition. All right, and then probably the last thing is this clock. So this is the Gym Next timer. What's awesome about this is it's controlled by Bluetooth on an app. So any kind of variation, whether it's Tabata workout, rounds, just plain old time, program it straight from your phone. It's never failed, been up there for a decade. It's awesome, it's affordable, so much better than the Rogue timer that's sold. So yeah, that's a Gym Next timer that we love. And that is about it. You know, Finn's got his soft-sided carrier that we put in my car when I go places, but it's great for being out in the garage. As soon as the barbell comes out, he is in there every day. Now I'm gonna show you one last little thing here in a second. Actually, I did forget something. This device on the floor here. This allows me to do belt squats. So that's a kickstand that kicks down. And then I hook up a belt there. I load the plates here. This end hooks to the rig, so I can still squat heavy below parallel. Not back squatting anymore with my cervical issues. Those days are over. I never did introduce you to the kettlebells. I got a 70, 53, 35, and a 20, 26. So those get broken out all the time. And I'm thinking that's probably it. I do have a measuring wheel that I use often for like 10-meter sprints. You always need an extra dry erase in the garage. This is a cool barbell cleaner, some plates or some collars, dry erase, gloves, chalk. Oh, I used to be a level 1. That has expired now, but it was an awesome experience. And last but not least, just kind of want to walk out here real quick, kind of give you more perspective about where we work out so much. You know, there's kind of looking back, but here's something we do. I'm going to jog out here. So right out here in the cul-de-sac is a white dot. And that's at 50 meters. And then there's one at 100, then there's a 200, and a 300, and a 400. So whether we're doing 100 meters, you know, whatever we're doing, they're all marked and they're super small. People don't know they're there, but we do. And there's actually one 1/2 mile away. So when we do things like Murph, we know exactly where to go, 1/2 mile out, 1/2 mile back. So that's it. That's the tour. Happy anniversary, Maximum Effort, 10 years. So yeah, thanks again for going on a quick little tour. I am super thankful that we have this. Anytime I do a hero workout, I really become, you know, very thankful, having served now for over 28 years. When we do a workout that honors someone who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and I'm doing it beneath these stars and that flag on the wall, there's definitely more weight. But just the fact that I have the ability to come out here all months of the year, sometimes it's really dang cold, but just the fact that we have the freedom to do this, the ability to do this, turning 53 here in a few weeks and still kicking, Just super thankful for it. I never take it for granted. So, but 10 years, crazy. 10 years since we came home and started this new chapter of doing CrossFit together. So again, happy Good Friday and have a great weekend.